Hello, welcome to Raymond Castile's Basement of Horror. The table is gone today. It's disappeared, and in its place we have this box. What is in this box? I don't know. I have not looked in this box. I did open it, but all I did was I just cut it open. I didn't lift it up, so I don't know what's in here. I will be surprised right along with you. It says fragile, handle with care. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe a person will jump up out of it and go, surprise! I doubt it, because this has been sitting in my basement for several days. And so this person is probably expired by now. So, it might be a corpse just huddled in there. That would be very sad. I hope that's not what we find. I want something happier than that. This box came from a friend of mine named Justin Scarred. Justin Scarred. Not scared. Justin Scarred. He has a YouTube show called Randomland. And it's basically a travel show. He goes around the country, just traveling the highways and byways, and visits interesting locations, out-of-the-way places, quirky, odd places. And I'm sure you've seen travel shows. He'll visit the location, and when he'll talk into the camera, and you see it as he sees it, and he describes his impressions. I think the show began with a focus on Disney parks. I think in its early days, he went exclusively to Disney parks, but then it evolved and expanded into something much more broad. And now he goes to all kinds of different places, all kinds of weird, quirky locations. You name it, he goes everywhere. Now, it's not a monster horror show, and it's not a collector show, but he is a monster fan, and there are episodes that have a monster focus or a collector focus. So if you just want a horror or a collector show, that's not what it is. But he does lean into that sometimes. But I would recommend checking out his channel, and of course I'll put a link in the description. But the reason they sent me this box was apparently he was inspired by this channel to create a display for a convention, and he went on this year-long quest to make this thing happen. He had an Azrak Hamway Frankenstein action figure, the articulated Mego style one, and he liked it a lot. Now, he bought a couple just for this project, but I think he had one as a child. I think that was the inspiration. And he wanted to blow it up into a life-size Frankenstein. And there are episodes that detail this, and you can find them on his channel. But he bought a couple of vintage A-High Frankensteins, and he brought them to a company that makes oversized props for amusement parks or a man cave or film and TV productions, and you name it. So they blew up the Frankenstein, not like blew it up, but they blew it up in size, and they made this life-size replica of this Azrak Hamway Frankenstein. And he made a suit for it and everything. And then he brought it to a convention, a Halloween convention, and had a booth with a castle wall behind it, and this life-size Azrak Hamway Frankenstein standing there. And they sold some merchandise, and it looked like a fun time. So I'll put links certainly to his channel, and I hope I remember to put links to these specific episodes about this Frankenstein. If I forget, let me know in the comments, and I'll put them up there. But it's a nice little odyssey. This I think it was a year-long project to build this life-size Frankenstein. And I did something similar, or my group did something similar years ago, a decade ago, at Mask Fest. It was more than it was like 15 years ago. And I think it was Bobby Beeman that took the lead on that particular part of the display, but I've told you about the Universal Monster Army UMA display that went all over to these different conventions. We had all these different monster toy displays, and in one we did have a life-size Sara Karloff Frankenstein, but the only thing that was a replica was the head. The head was a latex replica of the action figure head. The body was just a standard mannequin body with just, you know, a black suit that we put on. Justin had the entire body replicated, all the different parts of the Sara Karloff body, one by one, replicated exactly, so that so it really looked like the figure blown up, and it was all in green. All the body was in green, and then he had a costume that was correct for, you know, to replicate the look of the A-High Frankenstein, not just any old black suit, but the whole thing was a replica. The body, the head, the costume, the whole 9 yards. So it really looked like the toy blown up. And the head, because I saw his video talking about how the head was made. It's kind of like, I told you about the giant Marx Frankenstein that we made in 2012. And it looks like his head was made the same way. A styrofoam core, probably a scan of the toy, and then fed into a computer that controlled a robotic arm that made a styrofoam enlarged replica of the head, and then coated in resin, and then sanded and painted. And I've got the Marx head just out of arm's reach over here, but it's all in bubble wrap and everything. Similar idea, similar kind of a project. So that all led to this. So I think what we're going to see in this box is part of that Frankenstein. I think we might see the head. I don't know if that's anything else. It's a big box, and I think there's some other things in here. I'm just guessing based on messages I got from Justin. There might be things I completely do not expect at all. I don't know. It's a little awkward to shoot this. I can't hide behind my table as I usually do. So I don't know. Let's just see what we can do. We might have to move things around as we go. I don't know. Let's see what we have in here. Well, we have paper. Paper. Okay. Now let's pull this out. I'm sure you're going to see or you're going to hear some crinkling, I would think, as Billy will probably discover this. Gotta make sure I'm not throwing anything out here. Yeah, I don't want to take something important, throw it away. All right, so here, first thing we've got here, we have, I wonder why it's like that. We have, these are parts of his display. So these cards were at the convention with the display he had. And I'm wondering why there are green squares on it. Should I take these off? Is there a reason? Why are they on here? Maybe I shouldn't take them off. They seem very specific. Why are there green squares in these particular areas? There's a letter here. Should I read this first? For Raymond, okay to read on air if you decide to do an unboxing. Okay, I will read that in a moment. Okay, so now I've got the green. I don't know why the green squares were there. I hope it's okay to show that text. I don't know why they were covering it up. But that's the That's his toy. That's not the enlarged one. That's the toy. And that's talking about the process of blowing this thing up, making the big one. And he had these cards at his display. Oh gosh, it's good and stuck on there. But here's some more illustrations showing the process. You see that styrofoam head there. People working on it. Okay, that's the blown up Frankenstein right there. That's the life-size Frankenstein. Looks like it's getting ready to be shipped. And I recognize these cards from his video. He had these at his booth at the convention. Talking about the A-High Frankenstein. I think that's the big one. The head doesn't look like the big one's head, but maybe it's just not painted. But I think that's the blown up one. Okay, let's put those in here. All right. Uh-oh, I think I may have to. I may need a knife. Let's see here. Yeah, I may have to cut and come back. Ah! Oof. I might have to cut away and come back. Let's see, what else is in here? Oh, there's some interesting stuff in here. Let's see here. I want to make sure that I don't leave anything. Well, okay, so here's some interesting things. So this is, we got a couple of these. This is the new NECA glow-in-the-dark mummy. And you remember that I had this on the Halloween giveaway. Which I think is why they're in here. Here we go. Here's the NECA glow-in-the-dark Wolfman. Remco style glow-in-the-dark Wolfman. And I think the reason he sent me these is because I gave these away. I had these, and I gave them away in my annual Halloween giveaway that I do for my viewers. So he knew I didn't have them anymore because I gave them away. So now I have them back. That was very thoughtful. Thank you, Justin. Because I was thinking of buying those again since I'd given them away. And now I don't have to do that. I've got them again. So thank you very much. That was a thoughtful thing to do. So here are some little things. I don't know what these are. We're going to open the big thing. I think I need to clear things away to get to the big thing. Let me see here. How should I do this? I feel like I need to use scissors or something. Do I have any scissors? No. Yeah, I might have to cut and come back. Okay, I'm going to set those here. Anything else in there? Okay, let's look at this. Is something I don't need scissors for. Let's look at this. Okay. Let's look here. Is this like a Randomland poster or? Randomland presents The Monster Lives. inspired by basement of ... horror. Thanks for the hours of entertainment, Justin Scarred. Okay, let me show you these one at a time. I don't want this to get dusty. Let's leave it there. These could become part of the set, like behind me. Okay, so he sent me some posters. That's him. That's Justin. This is curling. Here's his message. Basement ... of ... horror. And there he is with the life-size Frankenstein. Let's take a look at this one. Huh. Well, this is cool. I don't know what the origin of this is. This is a poster. Now, this definitely could go behind me. This is a poster of the Hammer monsters and the Universal monsters facing off across from each other. So this is the monsters. And it's got Universal on one side and Hammer on the other side. So Universal, Frankenstein's monster, Boris Karloff facing off across from Christopher Lee's Frankenstein's creature, and then Dracula and the Mummy. That's cool. I wonder where that came from. Did he make this? What's the origin of it? It's not signed. It's a neat poster. I like that. It's a very thick paper. It's not like poster paper. It's almost like, it's like poster board kind of cardstock. It's like a cardstock. Okay. So, I'm going to have to cut. I'm going to get some scissors. So let's cut. Okay. I've got some scissors, but before we open that, let's open these. All right. Now we have some tools to get this done. Okay. Gotta be careful, don't want to damage anything in there. Don't know what's in here. Justin's show is very lively, very sprightly. Not like this. I'm very low key. This is the Eeyore show. Justin's delivery is much more high energy. He has a wide-eyed enthusiasm about when he's taking in everything. When he's visiting a location, he's seeing all the sights and he's reading things and showing you this and that, and he's very, very excited. I'm more like the Warner Brothers frog. I'm the frog when other people are watching. And he's just sitting ready. That's me. Justin's more like, hello, my baby, hello, my darling. He's more like that. I'm more like, right here. Oh, I'm getting impatient. I want to see what's in here. Come on. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay, now I see what this is. Okay, so these are flat Palmer monsters. And we haven't had the Palmer monsters on here yet. They're three-dimensional, but these are the smaller flat versions. And there's a story behind these flat versions. I don't have it committed to memory. If I were going to do an episode on them, I would research them and I would know what I was talking about before I shot it. But there's a story about why these exist, and I wish I could tell you that story. But Palmer monsters, they look pretty much like this, except they're bigger and bulkier, and instead of flat like that, they're fully three-dimensional. And I have a set of Palmer monsters. Now, I used to have, this is King Kong. I used to have a Kong with Fay Ray. I don't anymore. If I ever do a Palmer episode, I'll show you a photo, not right now, I'll show you a photo of the Kong with Fay Ray I used to have in the future when we do a Palmer episode. That's not today. But that's what these are. These are flat Palmer monsters, the flat versions. And these are cavemen that were not included. Can we get this thing to focus there? These cavemen were not included in the big set. These are only with the flat ones. 2 cavemen. And they only exist in these flat versions. What did I do with the with the little bag? Well, so that's what these are. Don't. Okay. I don't know where I put that little bag. So we'll put those right here. All right, let's keep going. Justin told me about this project as it was going along to make this giant Frankenstein. And of course, when he posted the video of him at the convention, I saw that. And then later he said he was going to send me a box. I knew it had something to do with the Frankenstein. And this box has been sitting around for a while because I couldn't... He did express an interest in seeing it opened on video, so I didn't want to just open it whenever. I wanted to wait until I could do it on video. And one thing led to another. I just didn't have time to shoot any episodes right around the holidays. I got sick. One thing after another happened. And then finally now I've got a chance to do that. Huh. Well, this is different. Okay. So these are recasts of pencil sharpeners, I think. Is that what they are? I could be wrong. I think these are recasts, like resin recasts of, I don't know if it's resin, I guess it is, but the recast of pencil sharpeners, and they've been attached to these springs. That's probably peels off to reveal a sticky surface, I think. I don't know. And then they would bounce around. I bet you would put this on your dashboard. And as you're driving, it would bounce around. I'm assuming that these heads are from the pencil sharpeners, but I don't know that for sure. I don't know. It looks like they might be 2 halves glued together, actually. Maybe, you know what? Maybe they're not recast. Maybe they're the actual... See how they're glued there? Maybe they're like customized pencil sharpeners someone got. But they're heavy. I don't know what these are. Maybe they're not the pencil sharpeners. Is it just the metal that makes them heavy? Or is it the... no, the head itself is heavy. So I'm not sure what these are. They're neat. I'm just guessing that they're resin casts of the pencil sharpeners. There were 1960s pencil sharpeners. And I believe you have these two characters plus a Frankenstein and a skeleton that looks kind of like Norman Bates's mother. And I think these are resin casts from those pencil sharpeners put on these springs, probably intended to stick on your dashboard. But I don't know. I'm not really sure what these are. They're neat. They look cool. I like them in black like that. Let's see what else we got here. Interesting curiosities. I think these are more of them. What's this? Okay, these are the same two heads. They've got, well, they've got some, I'm going to cut this tape. So I can get a better look at them. Okay. All right. There must have been someone at the show where he had his display selling this stuff at a table. So here's same two heads, only these are screwdrivers. There's Karis as a screwdriver. And here's Wolfman. As a screwdriver. There's one flathead, one Phillips, yeah. We got flathead and Phillips. So you're prepared for anything. And you can see that on the bottom, that's resin. It's definitely resin. You can tell on the bottom. So these are resin. Huh, and I'm sure they must be molded off the pencil sharpeners. Okay, well, should I open the big box or read the letter? I say we open the box and then the last thing we do is read the letter. Okay, then I shouldn't have put away the scissors. There we go. Let's see. Well, all right. Justin had an interesting interview with Sara Karloff, the daughter of Boris Karloff. So definitely check that out. It's very interesting, and I think there's a longer version that's available on his Patreon, if I remember correctly. But it's an interesting interview. And it's not on the one that's on YouTube, but it's apparently part of, in the full interview, Justin asked her about licensing for The Mummy. I hope this is not something confidential. But apparently one of the reasons you don't see Karis merchandise these days is because of Sara Karloff's licensing agreement with Universal Studios, because her father, Boris Karloff, played the original Mummy in the original movie, Imhotep. And her agreement, she basically just kind of, in a blanket kind of a way, sold her father's likeness rights to Universal, so they don't have to do a deal for every individual piece of merchandising. They just have a package deal. I guess it's in perpetuity. But the deal includes a clause that Mummy merchandise has to be Imhotep, not Karis. So that's something that Sara Karloff specified in her contract that she worked out. I think that's news. That's important. But it's not in the version that's on the main YouTube page. I don't know if it's in his Patreon exclusive extended version. That seems like a very significant piece of information. I don't want to damage this. So that seemed like a scoop in that interview. I've never read that revealed anywhere else. Oh, I don't want to mess this up. Okay, I see it in there. Oh, there it is. That's big. There we go. A-high Frankenstein head. Let me set this aside and then put that right there, and then get this out of the way so you can see it a little better. Okay, that shook up the world there. All right. Here it is. There is the giant Azrak Hemingway International Frankenstein head. You can see it's very big. It's bigger than life size. I mean, it's much bigger than life size. Yeah, so it has a resin outer coating. How did this fit on the body, I wonder? Because I've seen it sitting on the body at the show. I wonder how they did that. I wonder if they sealed up the bottom. Well, let me get a shot on this camera. Maybe get a better look at it here. Oh, it's kind of hard to get it all in the shot. Yeah, it's too big. Here's the back of it. Maybe if I can adjust this camera here. Hello? Okay, how about now? There we go. Well. That's something. That's something else. That is a giant Azrak Hemingway International Frankenstein head. There's a top. And Justin has a video where there's a robotic arm chiseling all this out. It's been programmed to copy the scan that I assume they made of the little head. But they really did a good job of, like, the shading really works to get across that vintage toy look, the way those heads were painted. I think it looks really good. Well, this is something. This is something else. And of course the Azrak head, I didn't get an Azrak figure to show you while I was doing this, but the Azrak head is molded off of a Aurora Frankenstein head. So this is a vintage Aurora Frankenstein, and Azrak Hamway International just took this head off this model kit and turned that into the head for their action figure. So that's where the sculpt originates. And I read something, well, it was erroneous. I read something where someone was saying that the Marx Frankenstein robot came first. No. The Aurora model kit came first. Marx also took their head off of the Aurora head for their battery operated robot. Maybe I'll put him over here. All roads lead back to that Aurora Frankenstein. That was the dawn of the monster craze in the 1960s. That kicked it all off, all the monster merchandising that we love today. It all started with that Aurora Frankenstein. Not the glow version that I just showed you. The original one didn't glow. Then they later issued it in a glow version. But that is the same sculpt. The Aurora Frankenstein, I always mush up Aurora. The Aurora Frankenstein. The Aurora Frankenstein is really the patient zero of the whole monster movement. All the monster merchandising really started with that. And Azrak Hamway International, among many other companies, used that as inspiration for their Frankenstein monster action figure. Okay, let's see what we got here. It's multi-pages. To Raymond and the Basement of Horror. I, Justin Scarred, along with my friends Tyler and Boba Depp, Tyler and Boba Depp, have been watching your channel for a while now. So I thought I'd gift you some items from my show, Randomland, to yours. Most obviously included is a giant life-size A-High Frankenstein head, perfectly 3D scanned and enlarged. And I use the magnifying glass because I have horrible vision. I have horrible hearing. I'm partially deaf, and I have horrible vision. So it's amazing. I'm practically Helen Keller. It's amazing I can function. But that's why I have to use this. Page 2. For a giant display we had at Midsummer Scream. I'm reading this like a robot or something. For a giant... Okay, so let me start back here a little bit. Most obviously included is a giant life-size A-High Frankenstein head, perfectly 3D scanned and enlarged for a giant display we had at Midsummer Scream. That's the convention. Included are the explanatory display thingies we had at the show that mentions the Basement of Horror as the inspiration. This is one of only 6 heads carefully molded off the original giant head and custom painted. The others are or will be for sale someday, but I know you had to have one. He was right. The NECA in the box are to open. I know you've reviewed them mint package, but it'd be fun to see you with an open NECA. This is a mitten box show. He's telling me to open something. Also included are some vintage smalls and custom surprises. I thought those were custom pieces. And a poster, one of only 4 screen prints in existence of Universal versus Hammer. I'd love to see them on your show. Feel free to show any or all of this, including reading this, or none. They're for you. So unbox, keep, film, hoard, your choice. Please convey my regards to Billy and your pops and the Basement of Horror fans. Merry Christmas from Randomland. He sent this before Christmas. Merry Christmas from Randomland. Yours, Justin Scarred. Not scared. P.S. Unsolicited suggestion. Uh-oh. What is this? Unsolicited suggestion. One of these days, you should do a Q&A episode. Maybe the Q's can come from the Facebook group. Anyway, happy holidays. Well, Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you, Justin. Very late, I'm afraid. I'm sorry I didn't get to this faster. As I said, had a lot of things around the end of December, beginning of January. But hopefully better late than never. And I appreciate all these gifts. Thank you very much. I don't know about opening these NECAs, though. I'm not sure about that. But I appreciate this. Thank you very much. And I appreciate the big head. Goodness knows my head is big enough as it is, but now I have an even bigger head. Look at that. And I feel like this needs to, at least for the rest of this season, this should stay on the set. But I think the Hammer versus Universal poster, that ought to have a place maybe, not just this season, but maybe permanently, semi-permanently on the wall, because I really like that. Oh, wow. Well, thank you for all these smalls and these custom things. They're very cute. I like them a lot. Very, very nice. And Justin, thanks not just to you, but to all your crew, because I saw on your video that you have a really impressive crew. There's a lot of great people. I don't know those names that you mentioned. I'm assuming there's some of the people I saw in the videos, but you have quite a lot of support, a lot of people coming together to help you do what you do. And all of their work really shines through because it's a very, I want to say polished. I don't know if that's the word you want me to use, because I don't know if that's what you're going for, but it strikes me as a very polished, professional, very well done YouTube channel, a very well done show, very entertaining. And I think for you to make it look easy, there's probably a lot of work that goes into that. There's probably a team effort that goes into allowing you to make it look easy. And we don't see that, but I could see in the videos that I watched pertaining to particularly to this Frankenstein, you have a really strong team effort, a lot of great people behind the scenes, and I want to thank all of them as well, because they all do a great job. You do a great job, your people do a great job. So my thanks to all of you, the whole team over at Randomland. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thanks for mentioning Billy. You know, I always like it when people mention Billy. And he is not here. I'm sure he's scared to death after all this stuff going on. He's probably hiding. I don't think we're going to see him tonight, but once I get it all cleaned up, he'll come out. Well, that was something, wasn't it? That was something. You know, I didn't really do a gift thing for Christmas. I mean, I didn't have a gift experience this Christmas where I was opening gifts. I didn't have that. I did not have the experience like this. So this is my delayed Christmas. This was it. This was my opening of gifts for Christmas. It was a little late, but that's my fault. But that's okay. I mean, it still feels like the holidays. I just had some hot cocoa earlier with some with a peppermint stick in it, and it still feels like sort of Christmas time. So I'm not quite. Oh, there's Billy. Maybe he'll come over here. So it still feels like Christmas to me. And this was my gift opening experience. You just experienced it with me. This is the closest I'm going to come this holiday season to opening gifts like that. So thank you very much. And there's Billy. I don't know if you can, probably not, you can't see him. He's off camera. He's right there. I guess I should wrap it up. After having unwrapped everything, I should wrap it up. Well, thank you again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you check out Justin's channel. I'll put links in the description. It's well worth your time. Very entertaining, very interesting. He's a very engaging host, and I think you'll enjoy him. Can we get Billy? Can we get Billy? Oh. There's Billy. You saw Billy. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Justin. Until next time, the one who dies with the most toys is